What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for always supporting the platform. Please take an opportunity to see this message from our sponsor, Tej Hanley. What's going on, babe?
Hey, babe, how was your day?
It was actually pretty productive. Happy to be home.
Good. You know, we got a game today. Honey, they're a little rough around the edges.
I'm saying I've been working all night, taking care of business, getting to the. You know what? I don't even want to talk about it. I got you. I'm not trying to be out here looking like a dusty, and that's why I'm excited to have Tej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. They help me start and maintain my skincare routine by making the entire process uncomplicated. Honestly, it's the best skincare system for guys like you and me. I recommend you start with their level 1 system, which come with all of the basics. A daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin, a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. My favorite part about Tej Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price and the ability to customize your box. And because Tej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal. Just click the first link in the description. You'll get 30% off your first box plus a free gift. Click the link and get started today. We're taking care of ourselves. Self-care, fellas, is the first step to be able to get to that bag, to take care of business, and be on top of things and level up in every aspect of your life. Feel the Tej, my friends. What's going on, friends? It is Tuesday, June 14th, 2022, and I come bearing good news. Good news, not necessarily meaning that the thing that we're talking about is things that people want to hear about, because nobody likes to hear about the possibility of a layoff, which is the theme of the show today. But the good news is how you can adjust. Remember, I teach you guys every single day. Life is not about what happens to you, but how you react to it. 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you react to it. You can look at it as an opportunity, or you can look at it as something that you're waiting for to happen to you instead of being proactive in how it is that you adjust for it. All right. So it's going to be a fun show today because I always like to make sure that I'm adding value into people's lives. I always want to make sure that you guys are getting the gist of what I'm saying and how it is that I can pour into you. Right. So before we do that, I got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Tej Hanley. Uncomplicated skincare for men specifically, but ladies. I know some ladies that's really either they buying it for their husband or they buying it for themselves, but their skin is glowing, and I don't know what's going on. So shout out to Tej Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Make sure you collect that link in the description. Please get your subscription because it is a dope product. I would never endorse something that I'm not rocking with myself. I have some new sponsors, and I'm just structuring those deals and making sure I get my T's crossed and my I's dotted to make sure that that goes off great. So those hopefully will be launching in the middle or in the beginning of next week. But Tej Hanley is certainly always, hopefully, they have been a partner with the show for an extended period of time. They've been a partner with this show, also with the Lapeef Network, and we appreciate our sponsors. So please support our sponsors. Make sure you tap into that Tej Hanley, not only for sponsorship's sake, but also because it's actually a really good product for you. In addition to that, I have the mastermind session coming up tonight. I cleared my schedule tonight so that I can take an exclusive opportunity. And you guys know this. I think this is the 4th mastermind session that I'm having in the Patreon. And so the mastermind session is tonight. It is exclusively for Seat at the Table members. Yes, I do pay attention to all of my people, but these are the people that took advantage of securing the top tier I remember when I first launched a Patreon and these people, they bought the top tier and it was a limited amount of spots. It was always going to be limited. They bought the top tier within a day. Within one day, every slot sold out when I launched it, right? And so I've added one or two people, three people here and there, but I said, yo, whenever we have some attrition and people fall off, then that spot will be available for the next person in line. Obviously, they genuinely love the content because nobody has fallen off. I've literally had to make room in order for the top tier. The beautiful thing about it, after the mastermind session with the seat at the table members tonight, I released the recording for every tier, right? So I'm not excluding people, right? But I want to make sure that I'm adding value for everybody's lives. And shout out to all of the Patreon members. So yes, mastermind session tonight for the seat at the table members, recording released in the morning for everybody else. And then we have the build a business that's coming up right after that, shortly after. And then we have the Patreon exclusive meetup that's happening in New York. And it's just a lot of great things that's going on in the Patreon. So if you have not already, I would suggest strongly, highly, especially in these times, if you are not girded up, if you are not prepared, if you are not proactive, then you are waiting for something to happen to you. And then it's much more difficult for me to then book a coaching call and then pull you out of the rut in order for you to be able to get yourself together when you can align with a group of people that I've already groomed to be awesome, right? We got the Discord popping off, Patreon popping off, in-person meetups popping off. Everything is going to be dope. All right, so make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. That link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Absolutely dope. For those of you that are restreaming it, just click the link in the description, or I might pin it in the comments. And then if you need to kick it with me personally, if you have an emergency meeting, I know some people hit me up today and said, yo, Anton, I got a job interview tomorrow. I've looked at the interviewing video that I have in a Patreon that a lot of people have already leveraged in order to make sure that they get their bag and to get their jobs. If you need to book me for a personal call, email me at Anton Daniels 413, Anton Daniels 413 at gmail.com, or go to my website, antondaniels.com, hit the email link, and then it'll open up your email client and you can send me a message from there. All right. So let's get started with the show. What's going on in the chat? What up, though, LJ? He said, Anton 100. Yeah, we going to talk about it. Yes, yes, yes. What's up, my peoples? All of my friends, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to all of my friends in here. Randy, but we talked about it. Randy is saying, yo, Layoff. Randy is a part of the Bag Chasers, right? I love Randy. But me and Randy have already talked about and prepared for this. Have we not, Randy? This is one of the benefits of rocking with me and rocking with a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going. Randy is very much involved in what we're doing as far as building a business and all of those type of things. So Randy will be just fine. All of my people, they will be just fine. All right. So, yeah, we rocking out. We doing our thing. Shout out to everybody that tapped in the Q&A last night. It was very spirited and very controversial even, but it was some great discussion. So I got a lot of big plans for that. If you have not joined Fight Club, that link is in the description also. Listen, y'all, listen. Before we really get into the meat and potatoes, all right, I want you to understand that nothing is going to happen to you by happenstance. You can't play the lottery and think that you're going to get rich. You're not going to stumble into the love of your life and then marry him and that be the end of the conversation. That's not what happens. What happens is more often than not, and when I say more often than not, I'm talking about overwhelmingly, more often than not, people put themselves in a position to then get lucky. What do I mean by that? It means that we here at the Bag Chasers University, we make our own luck. We don't wait for things to happen to us. You know, when I was growing up and I was coming up in church, the thing that they would always say is so funny is they would say, just wait on it. Just wait on it. That's the mothers of the church. Just wait on God. What does that mean? Does that mean like, because, honestly, there was this thing that used to go on in our church, when I was very, very young. And it was, what was it called? It was like, yo, millions are going to rain from heaven or something like that or whatever, so on and so forth. Real talk. Like it was pretty interesting. And it's funny because some of the people that was predicted to be rewarded for their patience are no longer here. I'm just being real. Can I be absolutely positively real with y'all? Some of the people that dedicated their lives to it in hopes of waiting on the millions are no longer here. What does that mean? I also used to hear older people and they would say stuff to me like, because I remember when I was younger and I was getting to the bag and I was making a ton of money right out of high school when I was working my butt off, right? And then I would go out and I would buy a fresh car, or I would always take first class flights. Like this is not new to me. I've been doing this for years, and so this is just my norm, right? And I would get a fly car or something like that, and I was always fresh because why not? I worked for it or whatever. I was misguided as far as understanding how money worked, but I always had work ethic. So even when I didn't know how money worked as much as I do now, I was able to make the adjustment because the work ethic was still there. I always knew that I was young enough to recover even if something ever happened, right? But older people would always say stuff to me like, why you getting a Cadillac now? Because I've had multiple Cadillacs. Listen, I'm from Detroit. We rode Cadillacs, right? Why you getting a Cadillac now? What you gonna do when you 50? Buy more Maybachs and Benzes, and hopefully I'll have a jet. They always used to tell us stupid stuff like, what you gonna do when you get older? You need to save some for when you're 50. Well, the pandemic taught me that some of us may not be here till we 50. Why can't I have my cake and eat it too? Because, they used to have this mindset and I was always confused because when I would go to school, because I was going to private school, right? And my dad made the sacrifice to send me to middle school private school. I was looking at people and their kids was driving BMWs and Jeeps and Lexuses. And I was like, they gonna have it for their whole life. Why do I have to wait till I'm 50 and 60? And why do I have to wait for my retirement from Ford, working 30 years in a plant before I can buy something nice for myself? But what I realized a lot of them was doing was trying not to let you catch up to them. It was a crabs in a barrel mentality, and I don't know where it came from, but it was always a mindset to prevent other people from being successful. I'm never doing that. I'm going to give you everything that I have, especially my Patreon members. I'm going to pour into you as much as I can. I'm going to make the sacrifice. I'm going to ensure that you're successful because I have a reversed engineering mindset in that it's not me making sure I get mine, it's me making sure you get yours because I'm going to get mine anyway. But I also understand that you getting yours makes us more powerful. It's such a crabs in a barrel mentality. And it is in every single space that you can think of. It's not just with people that you're close to or the black community or your friends, they don't want you to do well. It's everywhere and it's subtle. It's not always right in your face, overt. It's not always a jealous person that's going to show themselves and say, I hate you. That happens too, especially when you're a content creator. It's not always right there. Sometimes it's bubbling right underneath you. Sometimes it's the people that you surround yourself with, and you might catch a glimpse of it because they might show themselves here or there, but you got to be able to catch it. It's in your churches. It's in your relationships. It's even in your marriages. Crabs in a bucket mentality. Think about it. There's people that will be there for you. Let me show you how subtle it is. Let me show you how it is, right? There's people that will be there for you only when you're down because they want to have a savior complex mentality. I'm going to give you the game. Think about it. When you're up, they're going to say, they ain't nothing. I remember when that was just little Anton. When you down, they're going to be like, yo, come to me, little bro. I'll look out for you. Because they feel good having a savior mentality complex. And it's really a crabs in a barrel mentality. Listen to what I'm telling you. Shout out to Julius Nova. I appreciate the 10 ball. Says, as a bag chaser, I really do appreciate your money, knowledge, rich boss. If I can do anything to pour into you, regardless to fitness, I got you. See, I like that. You see that? He sees where he can add value into my life, and then he makes the suggestion, right? He's genuinely trying to pour into me because he sees the value that came along with me pouring into him first. That's love. That's real love. And it's not just him, all of us. And that's why I say y'all need to join a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going in. I say this all the time because I'm telling you that it's a difference in the community that we have. And it doesn't mean that we don't have, because we close, right? I see what y'all was doing in the Discord yesterday. I jumped in. I said, listen, let's fix this because we having money fights, right? We're trying to determine the best way to solve for different issues that come along with building this business. I'm teaching people all the ins and outs and all of the issues that they're going to run into. And so it's civil discourse and debating how we need to move when it comes to building this business, even though I'm the person that's putting up the money. I'm paying attention to my babies. I'm paying attention to my friends. I'm paying attention to the people that's in the Patreon. And we have a community of people that continue to try to pour into each other because we understand the value of each other. But when you go out here into the world, the person that you lay next to every day, it's a strong, and when I say strong, it's a strong possibility that you are laying next to a person that do not want you to succeed, or they want you to succeed only enough to be right here up under them. If I can make somebody a billionaire, that's a part of the Patreon because they have a unique skill set or they have a unique way in which they go about doing things, but I can give them that extra oomph in order for them to get over the hump. Don't think for 1 second that I'm going to hold back. Because the best version of them is the best version of me. And now they are part of my network and they looking to pour into me because their cup is full, more full than mine. They said, Anton, I don't even got no cup no more. I got a bowl. I got a pool. Take your little cup and come on over here. Do you know that that's the way that I've received the majority of my job offers, that my business opportunities, of my sales thing? Give me a second, y'all. Let me just cook. Again, I never knew that I was going to go into this. I don't know what I'm going to say when I enter into these conversations with y'all on the Millionaire Morning Show. But I pray in the morning. I say, God, lead me. And then I say, give them what they need in order to be successful. Do you know that I have never in the last 15 years actually applied for a job? In 15 years, I have not applied for the job. All of the positions that I've gotten came as a result of me marketing myself effectively and building out my network. People reach out to me and say, Anton, you would be a good fit here. Give me an opportunity to pitch you. I've never stopped networking. People that I've been friends with for over 20 years, I've just genuinely had their back, genuinely poured into them, had conversations, maintaining my network, reaching out to people on a regular basis. You know, some of the stuff that I give you guys in the Patreon and in these coaching sessions in order for you to be intentional, right? I'm just now securing a sponsorship that I was never looking to secure. I just genuinely wanted to align myself with good people and make sure that my network was dope. I'm securing a sponsorship from a person that I've had a relationship with for 20 years just now. Everything I do, I'm looking at it from a 10, 15, 20-year view. Everything I do, every person I pour into, every business opportunity, every investment, every job, every live stream, even when I do these live streams, let me tell you how my mind works, right? I know that I have to have a balance. I'm going to teach y'all a little bit something, right? I'm going to give you a little bit of a tip. As a content creator, I'm always pouring into you for free. It don't get as deep as I get into the Patreon or with my coaching calls, but I'm going to give you some game, right? I look at everything, relationship, business, investment, networking from a 20-year, 10, 20, 30-year view, right? From a content creator's perspective, right? The most popular video, I know that I could live stream about the girl in the gym that denied the guy and was acting like she was looking at her. For those of y'all that are familiar on TikTok, you in these YouTube streets, it's a recent viral video of a girl in the gym and she tried to lie on a guy, act like he was looking at her and he was objectifying her, and it was a lie, right? I know I could title that, get way more live streamers, do bigger numbers right now. Pay attention to what I'm telling you. This is Content Creator Game 101. I can go with the popular thing every day. Or I can do videos like businesses you can start for under $5,000. Or I can do Millionaire Morning Show live streams where I talk about exactly how it is that you need to prevent layoffs and things like that, right? I know that short-term hit is only temporary. The Millionaire Morning Show live streams, to start your business for under $5,000, how you can open up a restaurant, how to prevent layoffs, those things live forever. Those live forever. Those will be searched for and have legs for the next 25 years. No, 2 years from now, nobody's going to be searching for that video, for that in the gym video. I have videos today that have legs forever. When I documented the whole gambling thing, gambling lives forever. I'm not paying attention to the now. I'm building a snowball to throw down the mountain that's going to live forever. So then I mix it up, right? I want to make sure that I add value. The foundation of who I am is always in money. But at the same time, I want to make sure that I also glean from what is popular, and you want to mix it up. You don't want to be too far left. You don't want to be too far right. You want to be straight down the middle, but then more leaning towards the thing that who you really are, the foundation, in order to make sure that you're building the plane effectively while you're flying it. They're not going to tell you that though. Nobody's going to give you that type of game for free. You're going to have to book a session. And then they're going to overcharge you. And you're going to have to buy a course. Because they had to justifiably go through it in order to learn it. But I'm just going to give it to you because I want to add value into your life to ensure that you're successful. What am I telling you? What am I telling you? I'm teaching you how to look at things from my perspective so that you can have your cake and eat it too. You can be successful now and you can be successful long term. When I started YouTube, I always had at least a 10-year view of what I wanted to do. This is me pouring into you. This is me ensuring that we kill that crabs in a barrel mentality. Some of you will take this information and you will utilize it. Some of you going to take it and you're not even going to say thank you. I'm cool with that. I wasn't looking for a thank you in the first place. I'm looking to leave this earth in a better space had I not been here. But very few people can say that. Very few people are actually trying to pour into you, helping you to become a better person, understanding that we all benefit as a whole. When I had beef with different people, I learned to forgive and apologize. Don't add that part out. Don't leave that part out. I learned to forgive and apologize. Shout out to Gino White. I appreciate you for the 20 ball supporting the platform. Thank you for everybody that genuinely supports the platform. I love you guys. Come on, man. We got to do things differently. We got to do it better. We got to add value into people's lives. We got to make sure that we're filling up our cup, but it's strategic ways that you can do it. And you ain't got to be a hater. You ain't got to be a sucker. You ain't got to be a simp. You ain't got to be jealous. You ain't got to have a crabs in a barrel mentality. It's plenty out here for you. And you know how I know it's plenty out here for you? Because you have people that will make the argument and they will say, well, everybody can't be rich. But one thing I know, two things for certain, is that very few people are going to take the information that I give you, the coaching sessions that's available, the Patreon that's available, and they're going to actually implement it. So you ain't got to worry about if everybody can get rich, because you're not everybody. All you got to do is be intentional, be focused, be willing to endure long enough to be successful, and then get to your bag. All right. So now that we got that little beginning part out of the way, shout out to KB Rebuilding Together. Thank you, my friend. Said thank you with the bowling sticker. Hey, I got your email. I just was looking at your email right before I got online. See, I pay attention to everything. I see everything. KB Rebuilding Together. I got your email. I'm going to be responding to you shortly, my friend. All right. Thank you for the 10 ball. So let me go ahead and get into the show. So let me give you a little bit of idea of what we're going to do today, right? I'm going to break down this whole layoff situation. And then I'm going to give you some tips, because I'm always solutions oriented. I'm going to give you some tips on how you can A, prevent it, and B, make adjustments for the future so that you're never in a position to be laid off again. Okay? I want to add value into your life, and I want to give you the game. I'm going to use real life scenarios in order to bring out and explain to you exactly what this is. I'm going to give you a solution for you to think about. I'm going to encourage you to join the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And then I want to use a video and I want to react to money, because I think this is a unique situation. After I give you the solutions, some of you are going to really, really level up, right? And I find unique videos now that people send me that I want to react to, so that, similar to yesterday at the end of the show when I reacted to that video, I want to give you the game on how you can make adjustments also. And I want to use real people and real scenarios in order to pull that out, right? All right, so that's the way that the show is going to go. Again, thank you. I would encourage you to hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and then turn on your notifications so that you know when I'm going live, okay? So let's deep dive. Let me close this out a little bit. Shout out to Jay White in the building. Let's deep dive, all right, friends? Oh, shout out to Jay White. Starting your new job next week. Congratulations, my friend. We love Jay White. Jay White is quite possibly one of the funniest people with his story on the internet. Shout out to Fight Club, the Fight Club participants. But congratulations, my friend. I think that's dope. Thank you for even joining us on these live streams. And congratulations on your new job, my friend. Alaquandria says, check it out. Just talked to Alaquandria yesterday. She says, your little sister loves you. Thank you for your encouragement and prayers. The bag chasers are definitely my tribe. Just talked to Alaquandria yesterday. Shout out to the fireball. All right, so let me share with you guys a little article just to give you some insight on what's going on in the industry right now, all right? This is courtesy of CNBC. You know me, I'm always paying attention to what's going on. I've been watching on Coinbase, crypto.com. Facebook has paused hiring. Meta, not Facebook, Meta. Twitter has paused hiring. Microsoft has not entirely paused hiring, but what they did was they said that, we're going to slow down in different positions. That means that diversity, equity, and inclusion positions are on freeze. So shout out to the basket weaving degree, excuse me. So let me tell you something, all right? Tech companies rocked by layoffs as industry faces biggest downturn in 2 decades. That's right after the dot-com bust and right before the recession. I told y'all that everything is cyclical. Everything is cyclical and everything continues to evolve. And if I've seen it once, I've seen it 3 times. We have to be intentional on how it is that we're moving, all right? So I am going to, maybe I'll play that video really quickly. Here, let's play the video. Let's just go from there. Let's start there, all right?
Hiring freezes and layoffs due to cost-cutting measures. According to the tech jobs tracking site Layoffs.fyi, at least 66 tech firms handed out more than 16,000 pink slips in recent months.
At least 16 tech firms handed out 66,000. Which did she say 66,000 or 16,000? I think she said 16,000.
66 tech firms handed out more than 16,000 pink.
66 tech firms handed out more than 16,000 pink slips in recent months. This is just tech firms. Listen. There is a war on the middle class. There is a war on the middle class. When they tell you that there are plenty of jobs available, they're telling you that there are plenty of barista options for you to be able to apply to. There are plenty of barista jobs for you to apply to. All these middle management, diversity and inclusion, marketing and structuring, all of these different types of jobs, they are the first on the chopping block because they need software engineers. I got friends that work in all different industries. Remember when I was telling y'all about Zillow? I got friends that work at Zillow. Shh. I don't want y'all putting two and two together. We're going to go on past that. I've never invested in Zillow, so you can't say anything about insider trading. Listen, I am not an advisor. I'm just giving you the game based off of what I know. I got friends that work at Peloton. I have a vast network. When I talk, I'm talking based off of my understanding. I'm not talking based off of speculation. This is not any YouTube stuff. This is real life for me. This is conversations that I have with my friends. I have friends that work at Peloton. You know what they didn't do? Lay off the software engineers. They laid off whenever they start doing job cuts. These fluff jobs, they coming for you. Let me continue.
Slips in recent months. The layoffs come after tech firms hired aggressively in late 2020 and 2021.
Meanwhile, companies like Twitter and Meta have implemented hiring freezes, citing disappointing earnings. Some tech firms like Lyft and Microsoft insist they are only slowing down hiring in particular departments rather than company-wide.
What does this mean? When you hear that, what does that mean to you? What does that mean? Let me tell you what it means to me. I did this thing a few months back, and I said, yo, listen, we got a new movement going on. The new movement is for everything that you buy that you like, also buy a share of it. That went right on over people's head. One ear out the other. I said, for every pair of Jordans that you buy a share of Nikes. I remember exactly where I was. I was in DC and I was doing a live stream, and Brittany walked up to me and she gave me a hug because I was doing a Patreon meetup that night. I said, for every share of something that you buy or everything that you buy that you like, also buy a share of it. Own it while you're buying it. For every product of Apple that you buy a couple shares of Apple stock. I said it, right? Let me tell you what's going to happen. At the end of the day, after all of your protesting and after all of the Pride Month posturing and all of this other type of stuff, you know what they're going to do? They're going to do what's in the best interest of their shareholders. He literally just said it to you. After disappointing earnings in a specific quarter, they said, we making adjustments. And you know who the first person they're going to adjust for? Me. And you know who the first person they're going to adjust with? You. They're always going to do what's in the best interest of their shareholders. You are not the priority. Listen, I don't care how much you protest. I don't care how many people get their necks stepped on. I don't care. What I'm telling you is that money talks. All of that BS, that's cute. That's posturing. That's making you feel better about yourself. Go ahead, little child, and run in the Victim Olympics. They're always going to do what's in the best interest of their shareholders. They don't care anything about you.
Still a hiring freeze, still a slowdown. For more on this, we're joined now by our tech reporter, that's Dan Patterson. Dan, how would you assess the current state of the job market out there on Silicon Valley?
Well, Tony, look, it's still a very robust industry. It is funded primarily by venture capital, and these early stage companies still continue to raise money. That's companies at Series A, Series B, meaning they're getting their cash from venture capital in the less than $1 billion round. But
so what he's telling you, let me translate for y'all, for us C students, right? When you do a startup and you have a great idea, investors know that the majority of startups are going to fail, but they don't care because they know that there's going to be some that hit. And when they hit big, right? You're going to have some startups that go bust. You're going to have some startups that get bought out by larger companies like Meta or whatever, so on and so forth. And then you're going to have some that absolutely hit and take off. Coinbase is one of them. Coinbase is laying off employees. You know what Coinbase is doing? They're doing things that's in the best interest of their shareholders.
these billion-dollar companies, they're called unicorns. Those companies are suffering right now, in large part because of what you just indicated. They hired up during the pandemic, and a lot of these jobs, at least according to our reporting and reporting by TechCrunch and other outlets, is that they're simply reducing a lot of the redundancy and kind of pulling back from the expansion during the pandemic stage.
Do you know what redundancy means? Are you guys familiar with what redundancy means? Redundancy within a company is that people that can do your job without you being there, basically, right? It's having more than enough or too much overhead doing the same things, and then going through with a fine-tooth comb, or more effectively a razor, and trimming off the fat. We don't need you keeping a calendar for diversity and inclusion to ensure that we're celebrating Juneteenth next week. We got this. Thank you very much. Thank you. Your time has been appreciated. We're going to eliminate that department right there. You know what Tesla does? Tesla got rid of their whole PR department. They said, Elon Musk got Twitter. We good. We don't need you. It's trimming off the fat. That's what redundancy is.
Dan, the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, obviously we've discussed, has been crashing. Has that been having an effect on the tech jobs market too?
Lana, cryptocurrency is the exception. Look, the entire Web3 or crypto industry, it is going through a really traumatic period. Right now, you can watch the price of Bitcoin free fall. It is at its...
You know what's so funny about crypto? We had a guy on the late night live stream on Fight Club the other day. And he said, listen, crypto are going to hit this number, it's going to hit this number, and then it's going to hit this number. And this is what I'm studying, and I'm in these groups, and this and that, and so on and so forth. And everybody laughed at him. They literally laughed at him, and they said, that is not going to happen. Boy, you crazy. You need to put your glasses on. You look like Steve Urkel over there. And they cracked all the jokes or whatever. And I stopped them. I don't know if anybody that's on his live stream was in that live stream the other day, but I literally stopped them. I said, hey, y'all, hold on. Before you just automatically dismiss them, because this reminds me of high school, what I'm seeing right now, you have to take into consideration what he's saying. I want to hear him out first because he may have some insight and information that I can use. I'm not here to be a part of the cool kids club. I am the cool kids club. Even back in high school when you was there. You was there. It was plenty of people that was there. I stopped them. I said, hold on, y'all. Yep, it was Ken Sean. It was Ken Sean. I said, hold on, y'all. It was Ken Sean. Yep, y'all remember. I said, hold on. Let me hear what he got to say first. I'm not just going to automatically clown a dude because you don't necessarily like the way he looked. Different people have different talent and they may have some insight and information. I want to know what the foundation of what his theory is. I want to know who he's been talking to. I love people because people love people that love them first. And he was talking, and while everybody else was dead set on arguing and debating him and clowning him and all of that other type of stuff, I was sitting in the background like this. Let me see what he's talking about. I went and I did my research. I was like, he might be on to something here. I started putting two and two together with so on and so forth. I'm telling you, y'all better stop being in echo chambers and start absolving yourself. Start removing yourself. Start divesting yourself from certain mindsets and conversations so that you can make an informed decision that may change your life financially. I'm telling you.
Lowest price in years and years. And look, this is impacting the entire crypto industry. We've seen not just job freezes at companies like Coinbase,
he wasn't entirely
which recently
wrong at all.
Hired up very rapidly. They paid incredible salaries, and they offered jobs ahead of time. So if you were a PhD student, you could hire, or even immigrants, you could hire very early at these companies. A lot of those companies have not only stopped hiring, they've rescinded job offers. Coinbase is in a heck of a lot of trouble right now.
Wow. All right. So
All right. So let's break this down, y'all. All right. Let me just go through this really quickly. This article. Cryptocurrency company BlockFi had grown nearly sixfold in 2021. Monday announced it was laying off 250 people. OneTrust last week let go 950 employees. Stitch Fix, 330. It's an identity verification company, ID Me. Dismissed 130 people. Transportation company Bird slashed 170. Wow. Oh, no. 130, while Policy Genius gave pink slips to 170 people in the past 2 weeks. 16,000 people. Just like that. So far this year, tech companies have laid off a total of 20,000 workers. 20,000 workers. Coinbase earlier this month yanked job offers from 300 incoming hires. 300 people. One unemployed tech worker losing a life-changing $300,000 job offer. Yes, those type of bags was being handed out. I told y'all a long time ago. I said, most of y'all was here. I said, get it while the getting is good. Get in now. Get 2 jobs. You working from home, you can do both at the same time. People laughed at me when I said they'd made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. And then I showed my W-2 in the Patreon and people was like, oh, wait a minute. Anton almost busting down $1 million a year just from a day job? His base pay is close to $600,000 a year, and that ain't including performance bonuses and equity. They was laughing at me. I said it. Shout out to Kelvin. It says, I know this might sound harsh, but being poor in 2022 is a choice. People spend $700 a month on a car they can't afford, but don't have $500 a month for a Roth IRA, or $15 a month, $15 for Patreon. I called it. I called this. I said, y'all need to take advantage of what's going on right now. You need to take advantage of what's happening in the industry right now. This is the best time for you to be able to put yourself in a position to win. Get this job. Go in this industry. Negotiate like this. This is what we need to do. Come on, y'all. Let's get it. And some of y'all dragged y'all feet and y'all thought it was cute. And I like Biden riding off the coattails of what Trump had created from a job market perspective. And now look at this. You got inflation at a 41-year high. You got gas prices out of the roof. I told y'all that they was having a war on the middle class. I said, we need to pare back what it is that we doing and look at everything from a business perspective. And everybody looked at me like I was stupid. Why he getting a bigger bag? Meanwhile, I'm going to still be sitting on the floor watching the Pistons. Front row, upgraded my seats this year, $120,000 for 2 seats, $60,000 a piece. I'm going to be sitting right there. I'm going to be doing a giveaway in December like I did last year when I gave out over $33,000. Yep. including the tickets and all of that. If you know, you know. Shout out to looking at everything from a business perspective. I say, listen, if I got to spend some money to write it off in order to make sure that I do things the right way legally, I'm going to give it to my bag chasers. And they was laughing at me. Why would Anton go and get a day job? He got the freedom to do what he want. Because we bag chasers and we bust down bags. It didn't change me live streaming, didn't change none of the businesses. Just came out from flying back from California, taking care of business out there. One day you're going to start listening and paying attention instead of living in these echo chambers and listening to people that's broke give you advice on how to get rich. How somebody that's broke going to tell Anton from AntonDaniels.com, boy, I've been bag chasing my whole life. Even when I was broke, I was making more money than these dudes. And you gonna tell me? Me? Let me go. Let me stop talking my talk. You know I get to talking my talk. It get ugly. So let me give y'all some tips on how y'all need to move, both now and in the future. Shout out to Razik. Said, I slept on the Patreon, joined back yesterday. Come on back. Come on back to the fold. Come on back. We got a live stream with the Seat at the Table members, and then I'm dropping that same live stream with Mastermind Group tomorrow morning. Come on back into the fold. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. So let me give y'all some solutions, and then we're going to go into the next part of the show, right? The first thing that I need you to do is to diversify, right? Now, let me help you to understand something. When I say diversify, I'm not talking about spreading out all of your investments. I'm talking about spreading out you. Let me break it down for you. I'm going to help you to understand some things. Let me close this out on my screen, that video I was just playing. Let me help you to understand something. You have to assume that you're never safe. Even if you're safe, you have to assume that you're never safe. And what I mean by diversify, it closely aligns with a video that I dropped in the Patreon as far as helping you to understand how you need to move with your money. For those of you that know, I broke down exactly how I allocate my resources, right? Anything that I generate, whether it be at a job, whether it be on YouTube or whatever, none of that money even plays. It don't even play. That money don't exist to me. We use all of that to continue to buy assets, and we use all of that to continue to stack up. When I say diversification, I'm talking about no longer depending on one thing in order for you to survive, because as soon as they yank that rug out from under you, then you got to go and implement the Dave Ramsey strategy. You need at least 6 months to be able to survive. And then you're going to work the next 2 years building up another 6 months. And then what does that get you? That's survival. I'm talking about thriving. When I say diversify, I'm saying that you need to make sure that you're putting your eggs in more than one basket. And I'm not just talking about several streams of income, because that's a simplified version. I'm talking about making sure that you turn your hobbies into businesses, that you have more than one opportunity to earn, more than one job. I know people that I said, hey, yo, make sure you get more than one job because you're a software engineer and you need to ensure that you busting down that bag. Don't increase your lifestyle. Don't do none of that. Just continue to take the monies, put yourself in a position where you don't have to worry about it. And then a couple of them actually got laid off from the job that they originally had because the job downsized. They never missed a beat. This is real life scenarios, real life solutions for you to be able to move more effectively. Stop putting all of your eggs in one basket, meaning that you can't just go into the plant and just work for the next 30 years and think that you're going to be okay. You don't even get a pension no more. Regularly, the auto industry is notorious for laying people off during downturns. Semiconductor chip shortage, downturn. Slow down. Shout out to Razik said, I told my brother this is a journey of a lifetime. Downturn in the industry, layoff. Housing market crash, kicked off the cliff. You need to learn to diversify as far as making sure that you are generating the type of revenue, whether it be from your business or multiple jobs or all of that other type of stuff, so that you're unaffected. Because if you lose your shovel, you're no longer able to dig, and then you put yourself in a hole, and then you got to try to recover. We're not operating off of survival. We operating out of abundance. We need to be able to continue to buy assets. The second thing, your network. I told you, I have not in the last 15 plus years ever applied for a position. I get more opportunities every single day and I turn them down all the time. I will never, ever be able to go without busting down a bag. Your network is your net worth. It is a lifeline. It is more important. Listen to what I'm saying. It is more important than having a 6 months savings that you have sitting in a savings account that's losing money over time, because all you're doing is putting off the inevitable. If you don't have a network, what you find yourself doing is going on Monster. They still got monster.com? I don't know. Indeed, LinkedIn. Once a recession hits or once a bunch of layoffs hit, usually what happens is it's a herd mentality and then everybody go and try to do the same thing. By that time, it's too late. If everybody is getting laid off and then everybody is rushing to do the same thing, how do you then separate yourself from everybody else? I'm giving you a near-term, short-term, and then long-term solution, okay? Shout out to Kelvin, says, Anton, I'm a chemist in a big company, but I tutor chemistry on the side. It pays big, up to $50 an hour. Shout out to you, Kelvin. You just substantiated what it is that I said yesterday when we were reviewing the video at the end of the live stream, where the girl was saying that, she makes $67 an hour and she's being waitlisting people. She's been waitlisting people because she's so much in demand. You can do more than one thing at a time. Stop working just 40 hours. Who set the standard for what 40 hours is anyway? Union members? You have more in you. Stop wasting time. Okay? Your network is going to be your net worth. It is going to be the thing that saves you. It is going to be the thing that ensures that you are successful. Let me tell you something. Right now, I don't want to say the exact number, but I have a decent amount of people working for me. It's in the tens. It's not right at the 100. It's in the tens. And I'm not talking about corporate America. I'm talking about working for me personally. Different businesses, so on and so forth. Most of them, a lot of them are getting to the point to where, because a lot of them are working for me part-time. I'm going to keep it real with you. Some of them, very few full-time employees, a lot of contractors. Most of them are working for me part-time. They're getting to the point to where they're generating more revenue working with me than they do on their regular jobs. One of them came to me the other day and said, Anton, I'm thinking about quitting my full-time job and just working for you. I said, what, you can't do both no more? I was being realistic. Listen, I would love to have 100% of your time and your attention. That benefits me and the company. But at the same time, I'm going to give you the insight and information that works best for you. If you can do both and bust down both bags, do both. Just make sure that you're not slacking on either. This is the beauty of having somebody that has your best interest in mind. Shout out to Brock, says, dropping off my tithes and offerings. Keep preaching, Pastor Daniels. I miss Pastor Q. Where's she at? Q, listen, Q be busy. Trust me. I talk to Q all the time. Network. Okay. Let me give you some more insight. Long term, you need to specialize. Stop listening to people that tell you you need to be a jack of all trades. Jacks of all trades do not make money. They survive. They not even hustling effectively. Most of the time they hustling backwards. I know people that come up with a new idea, it seemed like every 3 months, and then they got a new hustle. Whatever's popping at the time. I want to sell TikTok with Crocs on them and stuff like that. Stop being a jack of all trades. You can do that in your spare time with your hobbies. You need a source of income that generates revenue so that you can do what you want to do later. I was coaching somebody on a coaching call yesterday, and I said, okay, how do you determine what you're picking as far as what you want to specialize in what industry? They said, well, this is my passion and I like helping people. I said, no, 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 no. That's not what we do here. What we do here is we pick the industry that's going to generate us the most revenue. Let's be clear. Your job is not supposed to make you feel good about yourself. Your job is supposed to make you make money. We're here to get money. We're not here to feel good about ourselves. I'm not necessarily here to be friends with you at the job unless I'm building with you because you then become a part of my network. We're here to make money. I want you to specialize in something. Become a software engineer, full stack developer, cybersecurity professional, nursing, whatever it is that you have to do. Listen, become a surgeon. The richest people in the world are two different people, right? They're people that specialize in something because they were able to generate enough revenue to then be able to do whatever they wanted to do. And they're salespeople, always closing. The richest people are actually both because they understand that it's important that I specialize in something, but I'm always closing, always closing. Sales. Once you get up to a certain level in corporate America, it's literally all sales. That's what they don't tell you. It's not as prestigious as you think it is. It's rubbing shoulders, kissing babies, making people feel good about themselves, empowering people and putting them in the best position possible, and selling. Sales. You selling your shareholders. You selling your customers. You're selling your employees why it's important for them to be able to. You're even selling when you're trying to recruit the best talent. It's sales. Specialize in something. That's when you're going to generate the most revenue. I seen Tam and Louise and everybody in the Discord, in my Discord and in my Patreon. They was cooking up just the other day. And she was helping people to understand how you can get certain government contracts if you're moving in this position and so on and so forth. Networking. Let me show it to you again. Diversification. Ensuring that you're able to continue to do what it is that you need to do, regardless of what happens in the industry. Networking, making sure that you got the right people around you, not just the people that's going to gossip with you and make you feel good about yourself. And then specializing. Because not only are you in a position of power, but then you can put other people in a position of power because you then become invaluable to the companies that cannot lay you off. They're going to go through everybody else first. They're going to lay off marketing. They're going to lay off the diversification and inclusion team. You know who those are. Underwater basket weaving degrees. Real talk. They'll lay off customer service agents and replace them with chat bots. Trust me. How do you know this, Anton? Because that's what I do. I'm looking to replace. Let me tell you what I do for a living. We give it a special name, right? But I'm not going to go into detail. Everything I'm looking to make it easier. Meaning that I'm looking to remove the human element from it. It sounds crazy, but it's absolutely a thing. I'm looking to get you to your destination with less clicks. I'm looking to ensure that you're not calling into the call center and that I'm putting things in place in order to have a barrier to entry so that you can then find the answer for yourself, which means that I have to worry less about call times and agents on the phone. I'm solving for how it is that you go to certain places. I don't want to say certain things because I don't want you to know certain industries that I'm in. I'm looking for you preventing yourself from going into certain places, into certain locations, and you able to do it yourself on your phone, which then means I need less people inside of these brick and mortar locations. I am an expert at removing people. I know this. And then if things start getting dicey, I know exactly who I'm going to remove from the teams first. I'm not telling you something based off of what I think. This is not an internet talking point. This is real life game to help you to understand how you need to position yourself more effectively so that you then don't have to be dealing with what they're dealing with over at Coinbase and layoffs. I'm going into these different locations, even from an investor's perspective. I'm a silent investor in an investment group that buys and invests in restaurants, right? The one thing that we're looking at is we're looking at automation and everything. We want you to be able to drive through and order your food and you not even realize that you're not talking to a human. We're normalizing replacing people because people are difficult to deal with. They slow it down, they cost you money, and then they quit when they want to. And then they say you need to pay me a livable wage. And so we say, okay, you think that I owe you something, get your ass up out of here and let me go ahead and get this robot up in here. And then we'll just hire an engineer to ensure that the robot continues to run at all of the stores. You need to specialize in something. If you think you're going to be cooking up lattes for the rest of your life, it's going to be a problem. I'm sorry. I'm just going to give you the raw truth. I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm not here to make you comfortable. I'm not trying to make your feelings so awesome. I'm trying to empower you. I'm trying to give you a reality check because whether you like it or not, change is going to continue to happen. And it's happening more rapidly than you ever thought existed. And so if you want to be at the forefront of change, if you want to get rich because the middle class is going away, I told y'all months ago, I said 100,000 ain't enough to raise 2 kids in a household with. Inflation gonna kill you and so on and so forth. And this is why, and you still fought it. Okay, cool. I'll see you a year from now. We're gonna have this conversation again. And I'm gonna say, I told you so. I'm going to say, I told you so. Patreon members, we got a Patreon mastermind tonight. Seat at the table members, releasing a video for everybody else tomorrow. Make sure you join. Try not to buy the Jordans this week, and then you can go ahead and buy you a yearly subscription at whatever the percentage off, 17%, 15, 20% off, whatever. It's in your best interest, trust me. Anyways, I'm telling y'all, I'm looking in the chat and y'all looking at it like somebody stole y'all puppy. I'm just giving y'all the game. This is real life. Real life. Anyways, I want to get into this video, right? And this is of a software engineer that works at Google. He discloses his salary, his lifestyle, and I looked at the beginning of the video because I wanted to get a general idea of what it was that he was about for us to be able to break it down. But I want to give you guys some exposure into what it is that you're missing out on from a salary perspective, from an options perspective, and also why you need to make a ton of money in order to be able to propel yourself into the upper class. I want to push you into being upper class, not middle class, not poverty. Listen, there's people out there, I say it all the time, that can get you to the starting line. Go ahead and get you a Dave Ramsey pamphlet and then implement that. I think he's awesome at it. I'm not here to teach you how to get to the starting line. I'm here to push you. I want you to give me everything you got in order to be successful. Everything. And the best way I can do that is constantly exposing you to the reality of what people out here really doing and helping you to understand that it's possible for you to do too. All right. So shout out to my dog, Vern. Says Anton is speaking facts. I'm heading a QA team at my company to reverse engineer some of the vendor tech the CEO is tired of paying for. They don't want to have to pay other people to do the same thing that they can simplify for themselves. They want to remove the people aspect out of it. All right. So let's get into this. Thank you, Vern. Thank you for all of the super chats, and thank you for everybody that continues to support the platform. Let's go ahead and get into this video, and then we're going to break it down.
In high school, I was an introvert, and when I looked at successful people, they had a lot of friends and people around them that they were learning from. So I spent a lot of time listening to podcasts, reading books about how do you genuinely care about people, because I want to. People are awesome, and the only way we can really grow as a society.
Look at that boy. That boy, hold on, wait a minute. Listen, I know we're not supposed to pay attention to the aesthetics, but this man had a hamburger t-shirt on. Look at this.
People are awesome. And the only way we can...
Don't do it to me, Freaky Jason. Don't do it to me. I'm supposed to be critiquing the money. That man has a hamburger t-shirt on. Boy, oh boy. Is this a high value man? I don't know.
really grow as a society is to be very transparent and to work together on investments, earnings, salary, on savings.
So, 26 years old, lives on 270. Listen, you can laugh at his hamburger t-shirt if you want to, but that boy is busting down over $250,000 a year in Austin, Texas. He busting down over $270,000 a year in Austin, Texas. All right? Listen, y'all gonna have to remove how you feel about him and his hamburger t-shirt in order to make an objective review of this video. And that's what we gonna do, all right? Here's how he spends his money. I love doing these type of reviews. I prefer to do these reviews, which I'm going to do them all, as many as I can get to. I prefer to break down the money, and this is why I like the Millionaire Morning Show. Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Come on, y'all. We cook up in here every single morning. I'd rather do these videos than busting down a Modern Woman video. But we do what we got to do, all right?
Clinton Stamper. I'm 26 years old. I make $270,000 a year, and I live near Austin, Texas.
Now, for those of you that are not familiar, Austin, Texas is a hub for tech. I believe that Tesla built a gigafactory there for the Cybertruck and the new Model Y. You got a lot of companies that's moved to Texas. You got a lot of people in Silicon Valley that moved from California down to Texas. So Austin, Texas is a hub for tech workers now. He's a software engineer at Google.
I work 2 days a week here at home, and then I work 3 days a week in the office.
Look at this boy. He worked 2 days a week at the crib, and he worked 3 days a week at the office. Look at where this boy is working. He is in a corner by himself. Now, I think that this is a problem because I think it's important for you to be able to network, but the foundation of who he is, it is what it is. Like, he secured the bag, and he's never going to need or want for any kind of thing as far as money is concerned. But this is a problem, in my opinion. Listen, I'm going to look at every aspect of this video. This is a problem. Do not sit in the corner. Do not go to work with your shorts on, with a hamburger t-shirt on, with your Asics and your book bag and working in a corner, ladies and gentlemen. All right? He is smart. He is wise in order to pick a field that is going to generate the most revenue. But again, my thoughts on it is a little bit different than the general public. And just because he's making $270,000 a year does not mean that he should not be making $500,000 a year. Do not do this. You can do the same work around people, interacting with people, and not in a corner by yourself, okay?
In Austin. And currently I'm working on tools to help us make decisions regarding some of our real estate. I'm able to go to the office.
Hold on. Did y'all hear what he said? Let me rewind that. Razik says, you missed it when he said he started off watching podcasts and reading books. The irony of doing the same thing. That's true. Check out what he said he does. Listen.
Days a week in the office in Austin. And currently I'm working on tools to help us make decisions regarding some of our real estate.
Translation. He's removing people out of the equation in order for companies to be able to thrive and be more effective when it comes to real estate. I'm making tools. He's creating solutions to remove people out of the equation. Okay.
I'm able to go to the office and they have gyms and cafes and food, etc. And then when I get home, I can just spend quality time with my girlfriend and her sister who lives.
Look at that boy. He said, listen, I can get any chick I want because I got the bag. He said, I live with my girlfriend and her sister. They stay with me. My girlfriend and her sister. My girl got a girlfriend. Let me stop playing around. He said, I live with my girl. My girl live with me and her sister. Woo-wee.
So when I was looking at Austin, I had to figure out
He worked at
how
Amazon
my
for 3
lifestyle
years.
and my girlfriend's lifestyle could fit into where we wanted to live. And the city life was not completely what I was used to growing up in a farm town. I decided to buy here because growth is inevitable. And when it grows outside of this area then becomes part of the city and it should expand in value and increase in price.
He's saying he's making decisions. Translation. He's making decisions based off of where he thinks the market is going to go in order to ensure that he capitalizes off of the growth of the city that he's in. He didn't necessarily move right into the city. He moved outside of the city, anticipating growth so that he can capitalize off of his investment. He's making a long-term decision. Whenever he's making decisions, he became a software engineer, worked at Amazon for 3 years. He used that to level up and go over to Google. He moved to a place, but then he didn't necessarily buy where everybody else is. He bought a place right outside of, anticipating. These are all proactive thoughts, not something that's reactive. All right. Patrick Hill says, stand down for the come up, buying a dip in the market.
Buying a house here was crazy. So we toured about 40 houses. I put offers in 3 of them. We had to waive every contingency we could. Basically had to open up our shirt and be like, here, you can have whatever.
That man got a cat shirt on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so distracted. It's so hard to hear people talk when this man got a cat shirt on. He got multiple cats on his shirt. Lucid Experience says, are we coming to times where eventually you'll have no choice but to work for yourself? Human work in most places are starting to become obsolete. No, I think that if you work in certain industries, there will always be business owners. I think that the type of jobs that's available is going to change. I think that the type of jobs that people want is going to change. All right, let me get back into his real estate story.
Once. And even that sometimes wasn't enough. Write letters. We had to explain that we weren't investors, and we basically had to bid $50,000 to $60,000.
That's a Versace shirt, Jeremy.
Price. So for this house, I ended up paying $638,000 when the list price was only $575,000.
That man got a cat on top of a hamburger. He has a cat on top of a hamburger, a bacon cheeseburger. Oh, Jesus. I'm so sorry. I'm so distracted, y'all. I have maybe some version of ADHD. I don't know. Wait a minute. What do you mean his 2 housemates? You talking about your girlfriend and her sister?
The only stipulation that I had for that was that they need to be furthering themselves towards whatever goals they have. It doesn't have to match with my goals. Just whatever they want to achieve, I want to see progress towards that.
Fuck that. That's bad advice. Mrs. Smith says, how do you view fully remote jobs? I'm in tech and will soon be fully remote. We'll lose direct networking opportunities, but gain job flexibility. Well, I'm fully remote too. So what I do is I make sure that I allocate days. Well, for me, it's every day, but I wouldn't suggest every day for everybody else. I go out and I participate in society on a regular basis. I'm out everywhere. I'm out interacting with people, so on and so forth. And so for me, I would suggest that you don't have to be fully remote. Pick a couple days or a day every week that most of the senior management is there. Add some time into your boss's calendar to make sure that you're getting visibility. And then just because you are fully remote does not mean that you have to necessarily be fully remote. Pick a day, go in, interact with people, and then taking advantage of the fact that you are fully remote for the rest of the time. All right. Shout out to Mrs. Smith. That man said they in there living for free. Now I know how he able to snag them. Her and her sister is in there living for free. Let me rewind that real quick. Hold on. What's the stipulation?
Was that they need to be furthering themselves towards whatever goals they have. It doesn't have to match with my goals. Just whatever they want to achieve, I want to see progress towards that.
No. A student and a dental assistant. Sound like a modern woman to me. Oh, no. No. You talking me to Caitlin as a babysitter? Living in my McMansion? Nope. She got to be putting out she gotta be putting out something. She gotta be. Don't sit here and talk about your sister is moving in with us and she a babysitter right after he said that they gotta be going and doing something productive to make sure that they bettering themselves. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Sabrina, he got to be having a good time with them both. He has to be having a good time with them both. Come on, man. Come on, man.
They pay for their food and their drinks, their clothing, and any other things that they want. Open communication about finances is really key to having a healthy relationship, and that's what I think I've tried to foster. I feel lucky enough that I can afford this house and that I have the salary that I do so they can accomplish whatever they want to accomplish.
This man is getting took to the cleaners, ladies and gentlemen. They are freeloading off of him. Listen, I'm sorry. I look at things a little bit differently. Either he busting them both down. Listen, I don't care if he busting them both down. He bought that house so that they can both live with him. That's a no-go. No. We're not doing that. I don't believe in this. I thought that I was just going to be reviewing a money video. I didn't know we was going to be talking about modern women in this video too. This is unacceptable, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ.
I grew up in Ohio in a little suburb called Rootstown. My mom and my dad were there for about 6 years of my life. They ended up getting divorced. My aunt got cancer and my mom had to take care of her at the Akron Children's Hospital.
Aww.
And that's where I ended up spending most of my time during
He
my
do need a
younger
coaching
youth.
call,
And
bro.
I got
He need
to
a
know
coaching
lot of
call
the kids
ASAP.
in Akron Children's Hospital. Most of my friends
Derek
had
T
brain
said, go
tumors.
read the comment
So
on the
what I
video.
did is
The
I planned on
girlfriend
becoming
clarified
a
it.
neurosurgeon, so I could help.
I'll put the link to the
research
video
and
after the
actually
live stream.
perform these types of surgeries to
I'm going by what he
extract these brain
said.
tumors
Ain't
in
no
a way
clarification. You can't
that
add
would
to it.
let more of my friends live a wonderful life and not pass on like the reality that I eventually found out they reached. I just felt like that was my purpose.
She made a full recovery. Yay. Wow. That's not good. All right. This is the part I want to see.
On my phone, I have the Robinhood app front and center, as well as my other apps, Webull, etc.
All right. Let me
And
look
when
at
I
this.
wake up every morning, I click one of the apps depending on the day, and I invest a certain amount every single day. Same for financial budgeting.
What does this dude? 12? Why is he investing with Robinhood and he make $270,000 a year? Get you a real brokerage account, bro. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Yo, listen, just because you getting money, everybody need coaching. That's the conclusion that I'm drawing from this video. Everybody needs coaching. There's no reason this dude should be investing with Robinhood when you're making $270,000 a year. What is wrong with this dude? All right. Look at the little bit that he invests in coaching. And that's including therapy. So I'm guessing that really it ain't no life coaching. It's really just therapy. He invests $62 a month in therapy and life coaching. That's too small, little homie. Shout out to Prophetic said, people need to realize that we have moved on from the industrial age into the information age, and they have to change their mindset or be left behind. Agreed. 100% agreed. I'm not blocking the fine print. I'm showing the fine print. Shout out to Prophetic. Thank you. Hold on. Look at this. This man only spends $62 in therapy and life coaching a month. Business expenses, $145. That's dumb. That should be much, much higher. And then everything else should be much, much lower because he should be looking to align his business with his lifestyle. He wasting a lot of money. $159 on travel, $177 on insurance, $215 on subscriptions. I wonder if that's an OnlyFans in there. $221 on donations, $590 on food. And I'm guessing that's because he's saying that everybody else got to feed themselves. $589 on discretionary. I guess he out here tricking off on these hoes. $764 on transportation, which means that he pays a car note. This man's budget is fucked up. I'm going to just be honest with you. It's messed up. $3,529 on a mortgage and utilities, basically so them other chicks can stay there for free. The only thing I see good in this is he put about $9,000 into investments. And the problem with that is that he's doing it with Robinhood. Come on, man. You can do better than Robinhood. Malevolent Elephant. I agree. His life, no, it's not just about being great. It's about maximizing what you have, right? Because I guarantee you, he's probably given a significant amount of money over into the federal government unnecessarily. He did do well by moving to Texas, which means that he doesn't have to pay state taxes. But that federal government tax, he's not looking at it from a business perspective. It's not just about living good. It's about, are you taking advantage of every opportunity that's available to you? And he wouldn't even have to change his lifestyle. He just need to rearrange some things so he can do things more effectively, looking at it from a business perspective, right? He's smart in that he was able to get to the bag and becoming a $270,000 software engineer, but he don't look at things from a business perspective. So I'm looking at it and I'm saying, yeah, he live a good life. He comfortable, but it's not as good as it could be because he's not making informed decisions. Is he writing off that car? No. I know he not writing off that car. I know for a fact he not writing off that car. And you know how I know he not writing off that car? Because first of all, he only owns one. Secondly, he can't tie it to anything business related. That's a problem. That's a problem. Third, he only got one. Yeah. And fourth, he invests with Robinhood. What are you, 12? Anyways, let's continue.
Every Friday or Saturday, I will look at Mint and I will go through my whole budget and I'll figure out how much did I spend this week? How much do I have left for next week?
That's good.
My biggest expense is my mortgage for this house, as well as the insurance that goes along with that and the property tax. After that, my second biggest expense would be my car.
Yep. This dude owe $23,000 on the loan, which means that he's financing it. And yeah, that dude need to join a Patreon. Real talk.
Meal delivery services are super expensive. So what I do is I wait for coupons. I'll act like I'm signing in and making an account, and I'll leave. And I'll wait for them to email me coupons. And when I get those coupons, my target is for each meal to cost just under $5 a meal. Jesus. With inflation, that's gotten pretty hard. But once I hit that mark, then I'll order whatever the meal is. As part of working at Google, you do get help with...
What? Is this dude clipping coupons? Is he doing the electronic version of coupon clipping? Is he finessing restaurants? Oh, no, Freaky Jason. No. And them chicks lay there for free? And they not making no healthy meals? Man, them chicks should be personal chefs for that dude. They live there for free. They don't pay nothing. They probably back telling their girls like, girl, I done came up. He wearing cat shirts and I don't even care. I got my man. No way. Them chicks should be cooking every day. I want a hot meal at the table Monday through Sunday every day. No way. No way this dude is being an electronic coupon clipper.
Your phone bill and with your internet bill. And they don't cover the full cost on some things, but they do cover the full cost of one of the most important and largest expenses that someone could have, and that is health insurance. Also, at Google, a really cool perk that I take advantage of a lot is that they reimburse portions of classes or trainings for you to acquire new skills. I'm learning to fly a paramotor, which is basically a paraglider with this motor strapped to your back. It's crazy. You're just like a plane flying through the air.
That's dope.
I'm still learning, but I'm so close to actually getting up in the sky.
That's dope. I like that. That's pretty awesome.
I learned a lot of things from playing video games, of all things.
What a surprise. Tell me how I didn't know that. Shout out to the Service USA. Thank you for the 2-ball, big dog.
was probably about 12 or 13. And of course, if you asked me at the time, I would have said, I don't know, I'm just playing a video game. This is awesome. Like, I don't know about finances. So my friends and I, we were competing in RuneScape, of all things, on who could get the highest fishing level. And what I did is I found something that would play the game for you for cutting down trees. And I was like, wait, they're very similar. Fishing, cutting trees.
You know who run a household,
so that cutting
Rozzy.
thing could fish. And then I released it as for free. People loved it. I took customer feedback. I improved it. And it got to a point where I could actually monetize it. And I started selling versions of it.
That's dope. It said he made $30,000 from the gaming mod while he was in high school. That was back when he was in high school. That's probably what helped to get his career popped off as far as his interest in becoming a software engineer. He learned to turn what he did in high school into a career. That's dope. I think that's dope.
While the RuneScape bot that I made did technically pay for my college, I took that loan money out and I used that to pay for college.
What?
And I used my RuneScape money to do other things and to,
what?
again, inflate my lifestyle. I wasn't financially literate at the time.
Oh,
I regret that, but I ended up paying them back later, so it's okay.
No student loans. Avoid them at all costs. If you can avoid them at all costs, avoid student loans. Obviously, he went and got a career to where he then was able to quickly pay it back and not worry about student loans. But avoid student loans at all costs. And this just shows you, this will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that it's not just black people, it's not just Hispanics, it's not just Latinos, it's not just people that's born in the hood. Everybody is out here getting caught up in this student loan thing, yo.
I went to college at The Ohio State University Medical School. I graduated in 2018 with a bachelor's in biomedical science.
Biomedical science, and then he's a software engineer. That's interesting.
During my junior to senior year of college, I ended up going to an internship at Amazon after my friend Alex convinced me that I should use my coding hobby as a career and just try it out. So at the end of my internship with Amazon, they actually extended it 1 month, and then they offered me a full-time position to come back the following summer after I had graduated.
He got lucky. But he ultimately did the thing that I tell y'all to do on a regular basis. He turned his hobby into a career. Listen, this man was on his way. I don't know what kind of job prospects that career that he was going into would made him, right? But he first fumbled the bag by taking out loans, right? And then he was going into a career that had nothing to do with what it is that he do now. And now he finessed and he turned what it is that he did as a hobby into a career. Now he can wear all the cat shirts that he wants. Look, check it out. Look. After getting, it just said it. I've never seen this part of the video before. After getting the full-time job at Amazon in 2019, he got into financial trouble. I knew that this man did not know what he was doing from a financial perspective just because he generates a lot of money. I can tell. Just because you have a good job. Listen, I coach, I don't want to say. I coach some people that are in some very prestigious industries that make a lot of money. They are not financially savvy. They have that shovel that's able to save them, but it does not mean that they're able to look at things from a financial perspective and actually get the most out of it. This is real talk. Just because you make a lot of money don't mean that you don't need to be coached.
It was because of this dip where I think my net worth went down to like negative 40,000 with signing bonuses and this awesome job that just didn't seem right to me. And the reason that happened was I moved to a house that was bigger than any house I've ever lived in, and I didn't know how to appropriately handle that. I spent way too much money on things and I overreached my budget. I was trying
You're
to
doing it
fix
again right
my
now.
financial situation because I heard so many horror stories of debt crumbling people's lives.
He doing it again right
I
now.
didn't want my student debt to do that. So I got rid of all of that unhealthy debt. And I'm hoping to accumulate more healthy debt, like super low interest free money in the near future when I buy investment properties. I'm open to all possibilities.
Paid off his student loans in 2019.
I have my
Let
emergency
me see
fund built
something.
up. I keep it at roughly
Paid off $40,000 in student loans in 2019.
I have my emergency fund built up. I keep it at
That boy cannot
roughly
hoop.
maybe 2 months worth of expenses.
This boy needs coaching. He's implementing the Dave Ramsey strategy when he needs to be implementing the Grant Cardone strategy. Because he makes too much money to be thinking like this and be operating like a fool. And to be having two chicks. This boy needs more than that. He needs the Anton Daniels, Grant Cardone, and he might need to go watch some Kevin Samuels. Real talk. This boy got two chicks living with him for free. He out here still making bad decisions and fumbling the bag. He got on a cat shirt. We're going to absolve ourselves from the cat shirt with the on top of the thing. He can't hoop.
Then I invest $1,500.
He got 2 months of emergency savings, yo. Instead of buying assets in which you can tap into if anything was to ever happen, he has 2 months of emergency savings. What are we, 13? Jesus. Come on, y'all. We gotta do. And this boy got a dual bike. He got a bike where his girl can ride on the back of it.
A week in the stocks that I'm looking at that week or that I see that are interesting or low in price. So my investments currently are to self-fund this passion of mine when I reach my 50s or 60s. I want to fund a self-automated robotic pod where you could go into it as an injured patient and without human intervention. You would go from being diagnosed to the surgery or treatment.
That's smart.
To recovery. So to fund that idea, I need to start saving now.
That's very smart. I like that.
So right now I'm waiting on approval. My side hustle is going to be sharing information in a simple way. And right now the plan is to do that through YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram Reels. I plan on covering everything from finances to just daily life things.
No, sir. Don't do it through finances. Do it through talking about tech, please. He needs direction. He literally needs direction, which is one of the reasons he probably did this whole video on the internet, and he agreed to do it because it gives him visibility. So he is smart in his ability to be able to market. But he needs direction. He don't need to be talking about finances because he not that guy.
Where you're like, wow, how the heck was I not taught that in high school or middle school? For the next year, I plan on just consistently investing every day and keeping both investments in cryptocurrency as well as the stock market. I also plan on keeping with my plan of investing in my 401k and my IRA. The thing that I think everyone should learn, at least from my story, is to go find it. And what I mean by that is if you have a problem, surround yourself
that boy going
with
ham
people
on that food.
who don't have that problem, because you're going to learn from them. And you're going to find the information to help make your life better.
Is that his girls?
Information is extremely powerful, and knowing that something exists is half the battle.
All right. This man needs a life coach. He needs a makeover. And he also needs to stop having them chicks living off him for free. It's going to be some difficult conversations that he need to have, but he need to have them now because your sister is not going to be a babysitter unless she busting it down. Let me stop messing around. Anyways, I thought that this was another great show. I love talking about money. We are going to do it again tomorrow. Patreon members, remember, if you are a seat at the table member, we're doing a live stream tonight. I'm putting the details already in the Patreon, but I'm going to actually put up the actual link It's going to be recorded, and then we're going to drop it for the general public, not the general public, for the rest of the Patreon members tomorrow morning. All right. Love you guys. I appreciate you. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm on your way out the door. Shout out to Larry Walker, says Warriors 3 and Celtics 2. Celtics are going to win the championship in 7. I'm taking all bets on that. All right. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to see y'all tonight for the Patreon. If you need to kick it with me personally, make sure you tap in. Anton Daniels 413@gmail.com. Send me an email and I'm going to make sure I get you scheduled. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Patreon members, I'm going to see y'all tonight. But I need y'all to do me one more favor before we get up out of here. All right? Make sure you share this with your family and friends because we don't want to be rich by ourselves. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all having a great week, a great morning, and then more importantly, a phenomenal afternoon. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all.